What do I think of CSO? In a minute? Impossible. CSO is a family-run, extremely conscientiously ethical, high-standard company. Everything they do is clearly done by making their imagination the limitation of what they produce. Their chief scientist, Francesco, is an Einstein, and he is incredibly reactive to any suggestions that you make. I mean, literally, I've made software suggestions and I've received a new version, a beta version, to test that within a week. And it is, I mean, as a clinician scientist, it's like a dream working with CSO. The devices that there are two devices that, for me, are so far ahead of the rest of the industry that it's actually embarrassing. The MS39 is a high-resolution OCT that has a Placido ring system in front of it. And so they take advantage of all of the marvelous analytical software that they had on their previous tomography machines, Sirius. And so that software is already there. And then they have the instantaneous accuracy of the Placido with the much higher accuracy of OCT axial measurements to calculate the back surface. And so it means that all other Scheimpflug devices, including the Sirius and the Pentacam and the Gallia, all the devices that are out there that were using light scatter and requiring a knowledge of refractive index to detect the back surface, all of those inaccuracies are gone. And so the back surface now is extremely accurate. So total corneal power calculations are now, they really correlate with corneal power. All of our IOL calculations have become more accurate because of this. And the fact that we have very high resolution B scans at our fingertips means that, for example, in my clinic, I have 4 testing rooms. We test all of our patients at every visit. And we used to have an atlas, a pentacam, and an orb scan, and an epithelial map from RTView. And I have the Insight, of course. And I had to do all of these maps for every patient. And now I just do one device. I use the MS39 because it has the Placido instantaneous curvature. It gives me the thickness measurements of the epithelium and stroma separately, instantaneously, and they're perfectly registered because they're taken from the same image. So all of my testing rooms now have MS39. So I'm bleeding from having shaved. I'm glad I wasn't doing surgery today because I obviously my hand wasn't too steady. But I actually, you won't believe this, but I bought an MS39 for my slit lamp because I have my slit lamp, which, you know, was developed in the early 20th century. So let's call that the slit lamp of the 20th century. And then I have the button, and instead of a keratometer, I have an MS39, because that's the slit lamp of the 21st century, where you can instantaneously look at cross-sectional imaging. You know, if I'm looking at a post-op LASIK enhancement and I see a little bit of ingrowth, I can just myself, I don't have to send the patient out and have a technician do the test. I can myself just slide this over, look at that exact area where the epithelial ingrowth is, and make a decision. Is it a little thin sheet? Is it a bit thick? How much is it altering the surface? Is it causing an induction of cylinder or not? I can decide this all on the spot with the patient in front of me. Honestly, the MS39 is just it's the device that all of the other manufacturers are going to have to copy. And then on the wavefront side, they've gone to the Foucault knife principle and developed this pyramidal wavefront sensor, which really has a lot of advantages over Hartmann-Shack. Hartmann-Shack has some advantages over this, but on balance, what you have here is a resolution that is about 40 times higher. than any Hartmann-Shack system could offer with lenses. And this has meant that you're able to now, with a whole eye wavefront, you're able to see optical discontinuities that correlate with patient complaints in a way that we could never do before with wavefront sensing. And for example, I might be seeing a patient who has microfolds in their cornea, and I can get a wavefront sensing from the Osiris, and I can see optical discontinuities produced by the microfolds on a wavefront sensor. It's a device that is only going to have to be copied by everyone else to be equal. So I feel that somehow CSO as a privately owned, family organization that clearly has a great CSO clearly has a great corporate culture, because they're fast moving. They do things in an elegant, classy way. They respond very quickly to my needs. I'm a customer. My needs are my patient's needs. And so the link that I have, and I have no financial interest in CSO. Frankly, I wish I had a financial interest in CSO at this point. But, the fact that I can work so closely with a company of this kind makes it possible for me to deliver the standard of care that is only limited by what I can think of. So that's my 1 minute about CSO.